Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, welcome to Monday's Elevenses. Hope you've had a really good weekend and you were able to dodge the rain yesterday and get out like we did. We made it to our church picnic.
Which was fantastic, and it was really fantastic seeing so many people there as well. Thank you so much for turning up and for trusting that the rain wasn't going to come back, and it didn't, in fact, come back. One very brief shower that lasted about 5 seconds.
Yeah, then it went away again. In fact, it got quite hot
really.
towards the end, didn't it?
It did
and
indeed.
The sun came out.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for that. Today we've got Rod and Claire that is actually doing Elevenses, the actual talk. And then we'll be coming back and hopefully having a song or two.
Which will be what? Which one? Are we going to give people a choice? Or
I think I've put out a poll, but if I haven't, I don't know how those work. So we'll check on that in a bit. And if I haven't put out a poll, then it's Come As You Are, Awake, Awake as Zion, or Broken Vessels. Are the three choices.
There we go. Okay.
Do you want to pray first?
Okay. Well, thank you for today. Thank you for this week. And just pray you would bless it for each one of us. Thank you for the lovely weather after so many weeks of rain. And thank you that we need both and that we have been getting both for our plants outside and for us as well. And just pray that you would bless the word that Rod and Claire bring us today. In your name, Amen.
Amen.
Oh no, are you going to get me to do it now?
So it's
Jonathan's trying to teach me how to do this at the moment, so hopefully I'll get this right. I did manage to do my pictures yesterday for the Sunday school class, so we'll see if this actually works.
Well, thank you, Jonathan. Good morning. You've got Claire and I this morning, and we're looking together at Psalm 72. I don't know if you noticed in recent weeks on the news, we've been following more violent clashes between Palestinians and Israelis in the Gaza Strip and the so-called Holy Lands. Just the latest chapter in the seemingly endless struggle for a homeland. In the reports I saw, I was struck by how both sides described their position as the righteous one. The Palestinians lived there first, so their side is right. The Israelis claimed it as their promised land, so they are right. Argument and counter-argument go on. We don't tend to talk much about righteousness these days, perhaps for the reason that righteousness is in the eye of the beholder. But we are more conscious of the self-righteous amongst us, which we usually take to being distasteful, referring to those claiming the moral high ground. But righteousness is actually about our internal thought life. And the Bible talks a lot about the problems we all have with thoughts that are unrighteous or wrong, the struggle we face with bad ideas. So often we experience a battle of the imagination, whether it be anger that stokes violence, admiration that sparks lust, reading or viewing rubbish that degrades us. And when we begin to indulge these thoughts, deeper they go, and the more entrenched they become. Here there is a downward spiral in operation. An ungodly thought becomes an indulgence becomes an inclination becomes an appetite leads to hunger to craving, and craving into action. But we first need to remember that wrong thoughts are not themselves sin. Just by notions popping into our head doesn't mean we need to feel guilt or shame. As one commentator put it, we can't stop birds flying around our heads, but we can stop them building nests. It's what we do next in reaction to these thoughts that counts. Psalm 72 is one of the so-called royal psalms, seemingly addressed to a king or about a king. This one is authored by Solomon, generally recognized as the most successful king of Israel ever in the Old Testament. But not even a success like him could really justify some of the compliments paid in this song. He talks about being a king that will endure forever, for example. Readers recognise in this a vision of a superhuman king, indeed the divine king, the Messiah. Claire's going to read from verse 1.
A Psalm of Solomon. Give your love of justice to the king, O God, and righteousness to the king's son. Help him judge your people in the right way. Let the poor always be treated fairly. May the mountains yield prosperity for all, and may the hills be fruitful. Help him to defend the poor, to rescue the children of the needy, and to crush their oppressors. May they endure as long as the sun shines, as long as the moon remains in the sky, yes, forever. May the king's rule be refreshing like spring rain on freshly cut grass, like the showers that water the earth. May all the godly flourish during his reign. May there be abundant prosperity until the moon is no more. May he reign from sea to sea and from the river to the ends of the earth. Desert nomads will bow before him. His enemies will fall before him in the dust. The western kings of Tarshish and other distant lands will bring him tribute. The eastern kings of Sheba and Seba will bring him gifts. All kings will bow before him, and all nations will serve him.
Give your love of justice to the king, O God, and righteousness to the king's son. Help him to judge your people in the right way. So if the king is as prone to wrong thoughts as anyone else, how do any of us deal with them? Remember, the thoughts themselves are not sins. Rather, it's the entertaining of them and acting on them that can lead to sin. So one tip for dealing with these ungodly thoughts is this. Don't dwell on them, but instead divert them. Don't indulge in bad thoughts, but don't try to ignore them either. Instead, use wrong thoughts to positive ends. How do we do that? Well, thoughts shouldn't be repressed or repressed. They should be rather expressed. Ideas should not be buried alive, where they fester and repress. No, evil thoughts can and should be used to trigger dialogue with Jesus in prayer. React to bad thoughts by praising God, by praying to him, by reading about him in your Bible. And there we'll find words like these. To the pure, all things are pure. Meditate on these things, give yourselves entirely to them. Set your mind on things above, not on earthly things. Whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, whatever is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Wrong thoughts are expressed as words of prayer and praise, and far from damaging us, instead they act to strengthen our faith. And obviously we can't do this in our own strength, but the good news is we're not supposed to. Jesus says, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." So the psalmist says, help him to defend the poor, to rescue the children of the needy. May the king's rule be refreshing like spring rain on freshly cut grass. God cares about the internal mental dialogue going on in our heads. He wants to help you overcome bad thoughts. He promises he will be here for you. Years after this psalm was composed, later readers recognized in it a reflection of the ultimate king, the King Jesus. So we'll finish today with verses from two famous hymns, both inspired by this psalm, Psalm 72. The first one is by Isaac Watts and is called Jesus Shall Reign.
Jesus shall reign where'er the sun doth his successive journeys run. His kingdom stretch from shore to shore, till moons shall wax and wane no more. For him shall endless prayer be made, and praises throng to crown his head. His name like sweet perfume shall rise with every morning sacrifice. People and realms of every tongue dwell on his love with sweetest song, and infant voices shall proclaim their early blessings on his name.
And the second hymn is by James Montgomery, and it's called Hail to the Lord's Anointed.
Hail to the Lord's anointed, great David's greater son. Hail in the time appointed, his reign on earth begun. He comes to break oppression, to set the captive free, to take away transgression and rule in equity. He comes with succour speedy to those who suffer wrong, to help the poor and needy and bid the weak be strong, to give them songs for sighing, their darkness turned to light, whose souls condemned and dying were precious in his sight.
So may we today dwell on his love with sweetest song. May he take away our transgressions and give us songs for sighing today. Well, thanks for listening.
Just having a discussion about some of the lyrics in some of those hymns.
Some of the older words, way of describing things. There you go. Oh, you have to go and look up some of those in the dictionary.
Is it succour needy or succours needy?
Succour needy.
Succour needy.
I think.
Okay. Is succour like needing replenishment?
Yeah, it's like feeding, isn't it? I think. I've got that wrong. In which case, I stand corrected. Somebody can tell me.
So, guys, we tried to create a poll for you, which didn't
Failed.
basically
Dismally.
work very well. Thank you, Shirley, for telling us. We've got 3 songs on there: "Come As You Are," "Awake, Awake, O Zion," and "Broken Vessels." Shirley's gone for "Broken Vessels." If Shirley's the only person to vote for something, then
that'll be the one we do.
And as we do "Broken Vessels," then you can still vote for one of the other 2, because today is. Well, I feel particularly after yesterday's sermon, we should have praise today, don't you?
Absolutely, definitely.
Because
it might wake me up this morning.
Yeah. What did you like from yesterday's sermon, Hannah?
I did not hear yesterday's sermon
Didn't
because
you?
I was taking out 2 children who were being less than helpful.
Haven't you caught up
with the way
yet?
that they are. So
Because there is a
no,
way of catching up. You
there
see.
is. You can go back and check it out on the Facebook page, or you can go onto the YouTube links that we send out to people as well. And if you haven't been sent those links and you would like them, then just drop us a line and we'll get them to you. But if you're on here, you're probably on Facebook, and you probably can access it by Facebook anyway.
But the link's laced with coffee to keep you awake.
I think
so
they
you
should
can
be.
Actually
I think they should be laced with a lot of coffee,
watch
like
them.
a triple shot kind of coffee. I will be catching up later, and then I'll tell you about your sermon.
And I can't ask you on Friday because Friday I'm not here.
You're not.
Hannah
You just got me
is
running the
going
show on Friday,
solo.
so it could all go terribly wrong, more than usual.
She'll be brilliant. Well, for example, you're going to now start "Broken Vessels."
I am right. I'm going to do this. I'm going to find the song and click the right.
Just getting over your fear, really.
It is.
That's all. No, not that one, love. No, don't press that one.
Stop it. We are professionals, really. We are.
This is "Broken Vessels," Amazing Grace.
All these pieces, broken and scattered, in mercy gathered, mended and whole, empty-handed, but not forsaken. I've been set free. I've been set free. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. take our failure, you take our weakness, you set your treasure in jars of clay. So take this heart, Lord, I'll be your vessel, the world to see your life in me. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. Oh, I can see you now. Oh, I can see the love in your eyes, laying yourself down, raising up the broken to life. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. Amazing grace, amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. Amazing, amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Oh yeah, I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. Now I see, now I see, Lord. just thank you.
Oh, I just cut off a
Cut yourself off.
Oh no!
What are you doing that for? Oh,
I knew you were supposed to be on operating this morning.
you just took over. What can I
That's because
say?
your hands weren't
If I was operating,
hovering
that's
when you
because
were
I
near
knew
it.
it hadn't finished.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Told you. Yes.
Oh,
well,
dear. Now,
maybe
what
a
did
more
Roger say about
professional-
thoughts and words?
I didn't have any thoughts at that stage. I have very few thoughts at this time of day.
Do you really?
I do.
So actually, everything that Roger said, is actually, it sort of sails past you because you don't have to deal with any bad thoughts then.
No, I
ever.
didn't say that. I said at this time of day. My thought process is normally going at 5
When
o'clock
do you
in the
normally
morning.
have your bad thoughts then?
5 or 6 o'clock in the morning when I get
Is that when
up.
I'm snoring?
That's when you're snoring.
Okay.
Yeah, there may be a correlation though. Anyway, on Wednesday, I am hoping that we'll be able to do some outdoor toddlers if the weather holds out. So it will be on the upper part of Lightwoods Park, and I will send details out to those people that need them.
Would that be instead of story time then?
That would be instead of story time. However, if it's raining, then we'll still do story time.
Is that because the story times the last couple of weeks have been very successful?
No.
Yeah. No, okay.
Well, Kate was reading the story the last couple of weeks, so it was bound to be successful. You can come along if you want, but you've probably got other things to do.
I've got 2 Zoom meetings that day. One in the morning, one in the afternoon.
So we're hoping that we will be doing outdoor toddlers just to get out and about and meet people a bit more. If not, it will still be here on Wednesday. Friday it'll be just me, so you've just got me all week basically after today.
Hooray!
And Rod and Claire doing the talk on
They are?
Friday. Oh,
Yep.
phew! That's
It's already
relief.
been done.
That is a big relief. So yeah, that's our week.
Fantastic. And then we are back next Sunday at 10 a.m. There are church meetings as well. There's one on Tuesday evening, which is a prayer meeting, and there is also a fellowship group on Wednesday as well. If you want details of that, please contact us. We can pass the Zoom details along to you. But for now, Hannah's going to close in prayer. She always begs me to let her pray on Elevenses. So what can I say? I always agree with my wife, and I always let her do whatever she wants as well. So Hannah, would you like to pray, darling? And then we'll finish.
Oh, he's on form today, isn't he? Father, thank you for today's talk, and thank you so much for Rod and for Claire and all that they do, and for giving us that talk today. Just pray you be with us the rest of the week. Just go before us in all that we have to do and say, and be there with us in our thoughts and in our words and in our deeds. In your name.
Amen. So lovely to see all of you. You can catch up with us, and if you are, then fantastic. Let us know what you think, and we're now going to deal with little baby next door and go for another meeting with Rod and Claire, I think, isn't it? We are indeed. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you
Bye.
very soon. Bye-bye.